Idara did not fall in love easily. She was the kind of woman who weighed words, watched actions, and tested consistency. At 28, she had seen enough heartbreak around her, friends who married wrong men, cousins who rushed into marriage because of age or pressure. She always told herself, if I marry, it will be because I am at peace, not because I am afraid. So when she met Cheek, it felt like an answer that arrived gently, not forcefully. They met in a secondary school in Enugu. Adore was an English teacher. Chike was an engineer from a telecoms company in the school to fix their damaged network system. The first thing she noticed was his patience. He sat in the hot staff room, sweating, while the principal shouted about deadlines. The bursar complained about money, and a few teachers grumbled that NEPA is better than this network. Through it all, Chiki only smiled lightly, nodding, answering calmly as he worked. At break time, when the other teachers had left the staff room, he approached Adaora's table. "Excuse me, Ma," he said, shyly rubbing the back of his head. "I think your system is okay now. I also saw some essays open." "You mark a lot," Adora smiled. "Yes, that's the job. SS3 students and their compositions." He chuckled. "I hated essays in school." "Why?" she asked. "Because people like you will use red pen to scatter my life," he replied. She laughed genuinely, and something about the sincerity of his answer, the humility in his eyes, the simple, clean shirt he wore despite the heat, it calmed her. He left that day, but not before asking, Adara, can I have your number? Just for feedback, in case the network misbehaves again." She knew it was an excuse, but she gave him the number anyway. The calls started as work-related. Then they became, "How was your day?" Then, "Have you eaten?" Then, "I miss your voice." Within 6 months, they were inseparable. Cheek lived with his widowed mother, Mama Cheek, in a family house at Abakpa. He talked about her often. "My mother suffered for me," he would say proudly. "She did everything. Traded, hawked, starved. I can't marry any woman that will not respect her." Adora always nodded seriously. "Any woman who marries you should know she's marrying your mother too," she would tease. She meant it in a playful way. But she didn't truly understand how literal that statement would become. Still, each time she tried to picture her future, she saw two things clearly: a gentle husband, a quiet, peaceful home. In her mind, those were guaranteed with Chiki. The first crack appeared the day he told his mother about her. "You said her name is what?" Mama asked over the phone that evening. They were in Cheek's car, parked outside Adora's small rented flat. He had just told his mother, "I've seen someone I want to marry." "Her name is Adaora," he repeated, smiling at Ada. "What does she do?" Mom asked. "She's a teacher." There was a short silence on the line, then a long hiss. "A teacher?" Mama finally said. "So after everything I suffered, you want to marry a woman that will be collecting civil servant salary that finishes before month end?" Adaora heard every word. The phone was on speaker. Chike scratched his head, embarrassed. "Mama, it's not like that. She's hardworking. She's also starting extra lesson classes. She's—" "Shut up there," Mama snapped. "Does she have shop? Does she have business? Is her father rich? What village is she from? Who are her people?" Chiki glanced at Adaora apologetically. "Mama, calm down. We will come this weekend so you can meet her." Let me see her first," Mama said coldly. "Because I did not suffer, so you will marry liability." The line cut. Silence filled the car. Adora stared at her hands, forcing a small smile. "It's okay," she said. "Mothers are like that. She doesn't know me yet." Cheek held her hand. "I'm sorry, don't mind her. When she sees how respectful and humble you are, she will love you." Adora believed him. She didn't know that for some people, hatred is not about what you see. It's about what you've already decided to feel. That weekend, they traveled to Abakpa to see Mama. The family house stood at a corner of a busy street, a worn-out building with cracked paint, but a large compound. Children played outside. Women cooked in front of the corridor. A group of old men sat under a mango tree, arguing about politics. As Chiki helped Adaora carry her small traveling bag, neighbors shouted, "Engineer, you are back! Welcome, O!" "So this is the woman we've been hearing about?" they teased. Adora greeted them all, kneeling slightly, smiling warmly. She wore a simple gown with flat shoes and tied her hair in a neat bun. Modest, calm, non-threatening. She wanted to make a good first impression. When they entered the sitting room, she saw Mama. Mama was a stout woman in her late 50s, strong arms, sharp eyes, wrapper tied high on her chest, scarf loosely around her head. Her face held no smile. "Mama, good evening," Adora said immediately, going on her knees. "My name is Adora. I brought cola." She extended the tray she had been carrying. Cola nut, malt, small gin, and biscuits. Mama looked at the tray, then at Adora, then at Cheeky. "So this is the teacher," she said blandly. "Yes, Mama," Cheeky replied. "This is the woman I told you about. She is—" "Stand up," Mama cut in, waving one hand lazily at Adora. "No need to pretend. Stand." Ada rose slowly. Mama scrutinized her from head to toe. "You are tall," she commented. "You have small flesh. At least you can give birth well. Sit down." Adora sat, hands on her lap. Mama sniffed. "Where are you from?" "I'm from Nasuka, Ma, but I work in Enugu town." "Your father, Enko?" "He's a retired civil servant, Ma. My mother runs a small provision store." Mama's lips twisted slightly. Civil servant, teacher, small store. She shook her head. "So poverty didn't end in your father's generation. It wants to enter my own." Cheek frowned. "Mama—" "Shut up there, let me talk," Mama snapped. "So, Adara, what exactly attracted you to my son?" Ada blinked, surprised. "Ma?" "Yes. Is it because he has job? Is it because you think he will build you upstairs? Or is it because he has car? Be honest." Adara's throat felt dry. "Ma, I love him. He is kind. He fears God. He respects you a lot. And I believe with him, we can build together." Mama stared hard at her. For a second, Adora thought she saw something soften in the older woman's eyes, but it vanished quickly. "We shall see," Mama muttered. "We shall see." And that was how it began. Love on one side, suspicion on the other. And in the middle, a son who believed he could manage both. No. Despite Mama's coldness, the introduction was done. The wine carrying followed. The church wedding came after. People danced. Cameras flashed. Adora's parents were proud. Cheek's uncles congratulated him. Only one person danced with a smile that never reached her eyes. Mama. At the reception, she pulled Adora aside briefly. "My daughter," she said, voice sugary sweet in front of others. "Just remember what we discussed. Don't ever try to turn my son against me. I am his first wife in this life." Adora forced a laugh, thinking it was a joke. It wasn't. After the wedding, they didn't move to a separate house. Cheek's plan was simple. "Mama's alone here," he told Ada a few weeks before the wedding. "Let's stay with her for 1 year. By then, we would have saved enough to rent a big place or even buy land. It will also make her happy." Adara hesitated. She had heard enough stories about living with in-laws, but she loved Cheeky, and she kept telling herself, "Mama will accept me with time." So she agreed. The very first morning after they returned from their short honeymoon, reality started. Adora woke up before 5 a.m. She wanted to impress. She swept the compound, fetched water, boiled hot water for tea, and started pounding yam flour for breakfast. By 7 a.m., she had already taken a bath and tied a wrapper, smelling of fresh soap and early sweat. She knocked on Mama's door. "Mama, good morning, Ma. Your tea is ready." "Come in," Mama said. Ada entered and met Mama sitting on the bed, legs stretched, radio playing low volume. "Mama, good morning," Ada greeted again, kneeling. "I made tea and little bread." Mama eyed her tray. "Where is my usual pap?" "Oh, I didn't know you prefer pap. I'm so sorry, Ma. You did not ask," Mama cut in. "You just woke up and started doing what is in your head. Is that how they trained you in Nasuka? That you will enter another person's house and start changing things?" Ada's heart sank. "Sorry, Ma. I will make pap now," Mama hissed. "Leave it. Let me drink the tea like that. Since my son has married a teacher, I should be learning new breakfast." "Abi?" Adora stood quietly, swallowing the hurt. She carried this mentality the whole day. Smile, apologize, adjust. But Mama wasn't just easily displeased. She was intentional. The small incidents began to pile up. One afternoon, Adora cooked jollof rice with fried plantain. She tasted it. Perfect. She dished some in a tray and took it to Mama. Mama, your food. Mama tasted the rice, dropped the spoon and pushed the plate away. This rice is tasteless. Adora was shocked. Ma, I added salt, curry, thyme, seasoning cubes. Maybe. Are you arguing with me? Mama's voice rose. Chica, who had just returned from work, walked in at that moment. What's happening? He asked. Your wife wants to kill me with stones, Mama declared dramatically. Look at this rice, no taste, no oil. My son, is this the kind of food you want me to be eating till I die? Cheek tasted the rice, hesitated, and gave Ada a quick, nervous look. It's not that bad, he said carefully. Maybe it just needs small salt. Don't support her, Mama snapped. If she cannot cook, let her say it. I will teach her. But this nonsense? Tufi aqua. Adora watched as Cheeky scratched his head and smiled weakly. Okay, Mama. Okay. Ada, maybe next time add more Maggie. It wasn't about the rice. It was about power. And Adora felt it every single day. Sometimes Mama would intentionally hide Adora's things, her phone, her small gold earrings, the spice cubes she had bought. Then she would accuse her, You are careless. How can a married woman be misplacing things anyhow? So tomorrow you will misplace my grandson? One day, Adora went to the market. She returned with full bags, vegetables, fish, rice, beans. Mama, I bought food stuff, she announced happily. Things are costly, oh, but God will help us. Mama barely looked up from the TV. 2 hours later, Adora went back to the kitchen and found the stockfish missing. She checked again. Nothing. Mama, please. Did you see the stockfish I bought? I kept it here. Which stockfish? Mama replied from the sitting room. The one Adora started, then paused. She caught the slight smirk on Mama's lips. I didn't see anything, Mama said lightly, eyes fixed on the TV. Maybe you used your teacher brain to keep it where only English can find it. Later that night, when Chike came back, Mama pulled him aside and whispered, Be careful with this, your wife. I think she's hiding food. I saw her sneaking something under the bed this afternoon. The next morning, Chiki confronted Ada. Ada, Mama said you're hoarding food. Why? He asked quietly. Adaora stared at him, stunned. Hoarding? I've never done that. She's the one who… Shh, he hissed. Lower your voice. Please don't make her feel like a liar. Maybe it's misunderstanding. When loyalty is divided, truth always suffers. Weeks turned into months. Little by little, Chiki changed. He started sighing whenever Ada complained. He started answering with, Just manage her. She's my mother. You know she doesn't mean it. But the truth was, Mama meant every word, every insult, every accusation. Because deep down, she had already decided. No teacher will come and carry my son's heart away from me. So she planned something bigger, something that would tear the fragile piece completely apart. A lie, a perfect, calculated, poisonous lie. It happened on a Thursday evening. Chiki came home late from work, tired. Rain had fallen earlier and the compound was still wet, the air cool. Adara had prepared bitter leaf soup with simo, his favorite. She arranged the plates neatly on the table, lit a small candle because NEPA had taken light, and waited for him. When she heard his car horn, her heart warmed. She smoothed her hair, adjusted her wrapper, and hurried outside. Welcome, my husband, she said softly as he entered. She reached for his bag. He gave a small, distracted smile. Thank you. She noticed his eyes were puffy, as if he hadn't slept well. Before she could ask, Mama's door opened. Cheek, my son, Mama called, voice heavy and shaky. Chica stiffened. Mama, good evening. Mama leaned on the doorframe, one hand rubbing her waist. Come, she said. Come and see what your wife did. Adaora blinked in confusion. Ma? Mama ignored her, limping dramatically to the sitting room and lowering herself onto the chair like someone in serious pain. Cheek dropped his bag and rushed to her. Mama, what happened? Why are you walking like that? Ask your wife, Mama cried, voice trembling. She pushed me. Your wife pushed me. She wants to kill me before I see my grandchildren. Cheek froze. Adora's mouth fell open. Mama, what are you saying? I never… Will you shut up? Mama yelled, pointing a shaky finger at her. Ungrateful girl. After everything I'm trying to do to help you learn how to be wife, you want to send me to early grave. Cheek swallowed, trying to stay calm. Mama, please. What exactly happened? Ada, let her talk. Mama wiped imaginary tears. I only told her to sweep the sitting room again because she didn't sweep under the chairs. She shouted at me. Yes, she shouted and said I'm treating her like maid. Then she pushed me. I almost fell and hit my head on the center table. If not for God. Adora stared, stunned, trying to speak. Chikern, it's not true. She was the one who shouted. I never touched. SLAP. The sound echoed in the room before she fully realized what had happened. Cheek's hand was still raised. Her cheek burned. The world tilted. Don't you ever call my mother a liar, he said quietly, eyes blazing. Never. For a moment, everything stopped. The candle flame flickered. Rain dripped slowly from the roof. A car drove past outside, horn faint. Inside the sitting room, it felt like something had cracked in two. Adora slowly lifted her hand to her cheek, tears gathering. Cheeky, she whispered. You slapped me? Mama leaned back, satisfied. It's small. If you were my daughter, I would have beaten nonsense out of you. Ada's chest pounded, disbelief washing over her. I didn't touch you, Mama, she said, voice shaking. God sees me, I didn't. Are you calling me a liar? Mama screamed again. I am saying the truth. Enough, Chake shouted, shocking them both. He looked at Ada with disappointment. You should respect my mother. Even if she's wrong, there's a way to talk. But I did nothing wrong, Ada cried. You didn't even ask for my side. Cheek rubbed his forehead tiredly. Ada, I know my mother. She cannot just accuse you for nothing. Those words stabbed deeper than the slap. I know my mother. But he didn't know his wife. Or maybe he didn't care to. That night, Adara cried quietly into her pillow. Beside her, Cheeky slept facing the wall, breathing heavily. He muttered once in his sleep, Mama, sorry. And she wondered which of them he was apologizing to in his dream. By morning, something inside her had died. Respect, trust, safety. Yet she still woke before dawn, swept the compound, boiled water, and made breakfast. Not because she was weak, but because she was used to bearing pain quietly. In the days that followed, Mama intensified her attacks. She started telling neighbors, that girl is stubborn. She has been controlling my son since she entered this house. She is rude. I told her to respect my age. She wanted to lay hands on me. Modern girls have no home training. Soon the whispers spread. When Ada fetched water outside, she felt eyes on her. When she went to buy tomatoes, she heard, "Na she be that." When she greeted some of the women, they barely answered. Shame moved into her life like a tenant. Then came the final blow. One Sunday afternoon after church, Cheek's aunt, Auntie Rose, came visiting from another part of town. Auntie Rose was one of the few relatives Ada liked. She was blunt but fair. In the sitting room after greetings and small talk, Auntie Rose cleared her throat. I heard something disturbing, she said. I want to ask both of you. Ada shifted uneasily. Cheek frowned. What is it, Auntie? Rose glanced at Ada with pity. Somebody told me Ada said she will make sure Mama never steps into your new house when you finally move out. That she said Mama's a burden. Ada gasped. What? Me? Mama quickly sat up from where she had been pretending to nap. Anne, they've told you, she hissed. So you think your secret will not come out? Did you or did you not say, I will not follow you people to your future house? Answer. I never said such a thing, Ada cried. Chike, I swear. Rose raised a hand gently. Calm down. So where did this information come from? Mama scoffed. From my own ears. I heard it myself. She was talking to her friend on phone in the kitchen. She said, and I quote, I can't wait for us to leave this house. His mother will not follow us. I can't be living in same compound with her. Adora stared at Mama, stunned. She remembered the conversation. She had indeed spoken to her friend on phone. But what she said was, I can't wait for us to get our own place so there will be peace. I don't like this tension. I want a healthy relationship with his mother, but staying together is making it worse. We need space. Mama had twisted it into something else, and now everyone waited for her answer. Cheek looked hurt, confused, betrayed. Ada, he said slowly, is it true you said Mama will not follow us to our new house? Edora's heart raced. Cheek, listen to what I actually said. I was only saying we need space. It's not that. Yes or no? He cut in. Silence. Edora swallowed. I didn't say it like that. So you did say it, Mama shouted, clapping her hands. So I am a burden. Me that carried this boy in my womb for 9 months. Me that tied wrapper and hawked bread so he will go to school. Now you want to cut me off? Cheek stood slowly. He walked to the window, stared outside for a long moment, then turned. This is the second time you're disputing my mother's word, he said quietly. The first time was about the push. Now about this. I don't know what to believe again. Ada's voice cracked. Believe the truth. I love you. I've tried to respect her. Cheek, please. Auntie Rose sighed, shaking her head. Let me talk, she said. Cheek, open your eyes. I know my sister. She loves you, yes, but she can also be too possessive. Listen to your wife, too. Mama rounded on her. So you have joined her? You want to support this stranger to chase me from my son's life? Rose turned to Ada gently. My daughter, let me advise you. In marriage, if you fight your husband's mother openly, you will lose. Even if you are right, you will lose. I think you should go and stay with your parents small. Let everybody calm down. The suggestion hit Ada like a slap. Go and stay with her parents? Leave her husband's house? She realized then that the situation had gone beyond simple arguments. Her presence here had become fuel for daily war. That night, she lay awake staring at the ceiling. She remembered her vows in church. She remembered her father's proud eyes. She remembered her mother's hug. In her heart, a question began to form. What is the use of marriage if peace has packed and left? By dawn, she made a decision. Ada woke early as usual. She swept, fetched water, boiled water for bath, set the kettle on the gas. But this time, every movement felt final, like closing a chapter. When she entered the bedroom, Cheeky was still asleep. His chest rose and fell slowly. He looked younger, peaceful, like the boy his mother once struggled for. Ada watched him for a long moment. Cheek, she whispered in her mind, you were my friend first, before anything. I wish you fought for me the way I tried to protect you from this tension. She brought out her small box from under the bed and quietly began to pack. 2 gowns, 2 wrappers, a few blouses, her teaching certificates, a pair of slippers. She didn't pack everything, just what she needed to breathe somewhere else. As she zipped the bag, the sound woke Cheeky. He rubbed his eyes, confused. Ada, what are you doing? She paused, then faced him. I'm going to my parents' place, just for some time. He sat up. Because of what Auntie Rose said? Because of everything, she replied, voice trembling. Because this house is killing me slowly. Because your mother has made up her mind to hate me. Because every day there is a new accusation. Because yesterday you looked at me like I was a stranger. Cheek swallowed. Don't overreact. You know I love you. Love is not slap, she whispered. Love is not doubting me every time your mother speaks. Love is not asking me yes or no questions instead of listening to my heart. He stared at her, hurt. So you're leaving me? I'm leaving this war, she answered. If you want me, you will come for me. As a man, not as a boy hiding behind his mother's wrapper. He flinched. She picked her bag and moved toward the door. He stood, blocking her path. Ada, please, don't go. People will talk. My enemies will laugh. Mama will... Exactly, she said sadly. Everything is about others. About Mama, about neighbors, about enemies. What about me? He had no answer. Softly, she moved his hand aside, and for the first time since she married him, she walked out without looking back. The compound was quiet. Children had not started playing. The air smelled of early morning dew and yesterday's rain. Adara greeted one woman who was washing clothes outside. The woman gave a tight nod, eyes dropping to the bag in Ada's hand. Word would spread quickly. As Ada passed the mango tree at the entrance, she heard Mama's voice from behind. So you are running, Abby? Mama called out. Ada stopped but did not turn. Good. Mama continued. Go and tell your mother I said she should train you more. Marriage is not for small girls. Ada closed her eyes briefly, then opened them and kept walking. She didn't trust herself to speak without breaking. Her parents' house in Nansuka was smaller, older, but it felt like heaven. Her mother, Mama Ada, almost fainted when she saw her at the door with a bag. Jesus, Adara, what happened? Did he beat you? Did they chase you? Has anything? Ada burst into tears, dropping the bag and falling into her mother's arms. Her father came out from the sitting room, newspaper in hand. What is this? He asked, alarmed. Ada, talk to me. Through tears, Adora told them everything, carefully, respectfully, leaving out some details but painting the full picture. The insults, the false accusations, the slap, the way Chike always took his mother's side. Her father listened in silence, jaw tight. Her mother shook her head in disbelief, hands on her chest. When Ada finished, she looked at them fearfully. I'm sorry I came back like this, she said. If you want, I can look for a room to rent. I just needed peace. Her father stood and paced slowly. Finally, he said, Marriage is not prison. You are always welcome here. Her mother nodded quickly. You will not rent any house. This is your home. Rest. Eat. We will think of what to do next. That night, for the first time in months, Ada slept without waking up in the middle of the night to tears. Back in Abakpa, the story spread. Some said, she's too proud. How can she leave her husband's house? Others said, that boy's mother will not let any woman stay. A few secretly admired Ada's courage. Mama, meanwhile, had the boldness of someone who believed she had won. Better, she told neighbors, my son will now marry proper wife, someone I choose, not teacher that thinks she knows everything. But seeds of doubt had entered Cheek's heart. One evening, as he sat quietly in the sitting room, Auntie Rose came again. Where is your wife? She asked. She went to her parents' place, he replied, staring at the floor. For visit or for separation? He sighed. I don't know. Rose watched him carefully. Do you want her back? He hesitated, then nodded slowly. Yes, I love her. But Mama? Forget Mama for 1 minute, Rose said sharply. Think like man. If you allow your mother to choose your life partner completely, you will end up married to a woman you don't respect, just to please her. Cheek opened his mouth, then closed it. Rose leaned closer. Let me tell you truth you may not like. Your mother is not just protective. She is jealous. She wants to be the only woman that matters in your life. Until you set boundaries, no wife will stay. The words stung. But she's my mother, he muttered weakly. And that will never change, Rose said. You honoring your mother should not mean destroying your marriage. Are you a boy or a man? Cheek sat in silence long after she left. That night he heard Mama speaking on phone in her room, voice low but clear enough through the thin wall. Yes, Ngozi, she was saying. Don't worry. Now that that teacher has gone, we can talk about your younger sister. She's a nurse. She will be perfect. I will convince Chika. I know how to handle him. He can never say no to me. Cheek's blood ran cold. His chest tightened. His ears rang. His heart pounded, each beat sounding like betrayal. He knocked on her door and entered without waiting. Mama dropped the phone, startled. Cheek? Why are you entering like thief? Who were you talking to? He asked quietly. She waved her hand. Nobody, just my friend. I heard everything. Silence. I heard you say now that my wife is gone, you will bring another woman. Mama's eyes narrowed. And so? Did I lie? That girl is not good for you. Cheek stared at her as if seeing her for the first time. Mama, did Ada really push you that day? Mama's jaw tightened. You are asking me that. Yes or no? She moved her hand. I almost fell. Yes or no, Mama? No, she snapped, eyes flashing. Is that what you want to hear? She did not push me, but she disrespected me in her heart. Her eyes, her attitude. Must she touch me before I teach her lesson? Cheek felt something break inside him. All this while, I have been punishing my wife for something she didn't do, he whispered. If she was wise, she would have begged, Mama retorted. Instead, she started arguing. wanting to prove she's innocent. Is that how to live with mother-in-law? Cheek swallowed hard. And the phone call? He asked. You twisted her words, Mama hissed. I only reported the spirit of what she was saying. She wanted to run away with you and leave me alone. Me, her husband's mother. Cheek stared at her, chest heaving. Mama, he said slowly, you have hurt me deeply. She scoffed. I have protected you from mistake. No, he said, tears rising. You have pushed away the woman I love. He walked out before she could answer. For the first time since he was a child, Cheek didn't feel like his mother's son. He felt like a man whose life had been heavily influenced by someone else's fear. And he knew he had to choose. 2 weeks passed. Adara had returned to teaching in a school near her parents' house. Some of the teachers looked at her with curiosity. A few already knew she was the woman who left her husband's house. But they didn't know the details, and she was too tired to explain. Every evening, her mother would ask, Has he called? Sometimes he had. Sometimes he hadn't. The first call was full of apologies. Ada, I'm sorry, Cheeky said quietly. I never had the right to lay hands on you. I was wrong to believe everything without asking you. I was weak. I allowed Mama to control me. She listened, tears streaming silently. I found out she lied, he continued, about the push, about the phone call. I confronted her. Adora swallowed. And what did she say? That she was only protecting me, he replied with a bitter laugh. That you wanted to steal me from her. Ada, you never tried to come between us. I see it now. Silence hung over the phone. Finally, she whispered, So what do you want from me now? He paused. I want you to come back. The request sat heavily on her heart. Go back? To that compound? To that woman? Back where? She asked slowly. To your mother's house or to my husband? Cheek took a shaky breath. I'm looking for a new apartment. Away from her. The words shocked her. Leave your mother's house? She asked. Yes, it's time, he said. I should have done it long ago. I will still care for her. Send money, visit. But I need to protect my marriage. Please give me a chance to make this right. Adora ended the call without promising anything. That night she prayed for the first time in weeks. Not long, complicated prayer. Just 3 words. Lord, guide me. A few days later, Chike came to Nsuka in person. He didn't arrive as the confident groom of last year. He came as a humbled man, shoulders slightly bent, with exhaustion in his eyes. Her parents received him in the sitting room. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, Ma, he greeted, kneeling slightly. Welcome, my son, her father replied, though his tone was guarded. They all sat. The ticking of the wall clock was suddenly louder than usual. Cheek swallowed. Daddy, Mummy, I came to say I'm sorry. I failed you. I promised to take care of your daughter, but I let her be insulted, accused wrongly, even slapped. I allowed my mother's fears to control me. I have no excuse. Her father studied him quietly. So what do you want? Cheeky glanced at Ada briefly, then lowered his eyes. I want my wife back. Not for show. Not because of what people will say, but because I love her, and I have decided to create boundaries with my mother. I have already paid for a new apartment, a small flat for me and Ada. I will still care for Mama, but she will no longer live with us. I'm ready to attend counseling, to rebuild trust, to do whatever it takes. Adora watched him, heart pounding. Her mother spoke softly. What if your mother comes to visit and continues her behavior? She will visit, Cheek said firmly, but she will not rule. I will not tolerate insults again. Mom is my mother. Ada is my wife. Both deserve respect. But I have finally understood something important. My marriage is my responsibility, not my mother's project. Her father sat back, sighed deeply, and looked at his daughter. Ada? It was her decision. She looked at Chike and saw pain, regret, sincerity. She also remembered the slap, the tears, the lonely nights. Do you truly believe you can change? She asked quietly. Not your mother. You. Yes, he said, because I've already started. Mama's very angry with me right now. She said I betrayed her, but for once I know I'm not the one in the wrong. I should have stood by you earlier. I can't change the past, but I'm ready to build a different future. Silence. Adora took a deep breath. Her heart still loved him, but love needed safety. I will come, she said finally, on one condition. What is it? He asked quickly. We will go for counseling in church, she said, and you will never ever raise your hand against me again. No matter what. If you do, that will be the last day of this marriage. He nodded, eyes wet. I agree. I swear. Her father cleared his throat. Marriage is not trial and error, but life is also not exact science. Mistakes happen. What matters is what you both learn from them. If you have truly decided to be man, not boy, then show it. He turned to his daughter. If at any point you feel your life is in danger, you know this house is open. Yes, Daddy, she whispered, and that was how they reconciled. Not with loud music, not with dramatic video, but with difficult conversations, tears, and a hard-won decision. Back in Abakpa, when Mama heard that Chike was moving out, she exploded. So because of that girl, you want to leave me, she screamed. I'm not leaving you, Mama, he said calmly. I'm becoming a husband. There's a difference, she hissed. Ungrateful child, after everything I did for you, you will regret this. That girl has charmed you. He shook his head sadly. No, Mama, you charmed me first, with guilt. You made me feel like I owed you my whole life, not just my gratitude, but I've learned that I can honor you without obeying every wish. I love you, but I also love my wife, and I have chosen to love both in a healthy way. For months, Mama refused to speak to him. She also refused to speak to Adora when she visited with him later, now pregnant with their first child. But time is a stubborn teacher. When the baby came, a small, beautiful girl with Cheek's eyes and Ada's nose, something in Mama melted. The first day she held the baby, she cried quietly, kissing the child's forehead. My granddaughter, she whispered. Please don't grow up and leave me too. Adara watched her, heart mixed with caution and compassion. Mama, she said gently, you were not in danger of losing your son. You were just afraid. But fear made you do many cruel things. Mama wiped her eyes, ashamed. I didn't want to be alone, she confessed. After your husband died, you and this boy were my whole world. I thought another woman will lock me out of his heart. I did not know I was pushing everyone away. Adara nodded slowly. You are not alone, Mama, but you must stop seeing me as enemy. I'm not fighting you for your son. I'm walking beside him with you. It took time. Apologies never fixed everything in one day. But little by little, they found a way to coexist. Sometimes peacefully, sometimes with small arguments, but always with clearer boundaries. Years later, when people told stories about wicked mothers-in-law, Adora would smile sadly and say, sometimes behind every evil mother-in-law is a woman who never healed from her own fears. But that doesn't excuse the damage she causes. The only cure is truth, boundaries, and courage. She learned that love alone was not enough. Love needed wisdom. Love needed voice. Love needed the strength to walk away, not to destroy, but to give room for change. And Cheek, he never raised his hand on her again. Whenever he saw his daughter run into Ada's arms, laughing, he would remember the day his own hand almost destroyed what he now treasured most. He would pull them both close and whisper, thank you for not giving up on me.